People always inquire, how do we grade our surplus? And that's a really complicated question, and there's no better way than to put a video together, we thought, for everyone who's curious. Now, lots of surplus companies usually streamline their grading systems, so they'll usually have new, used, and defective, or something similarly named. Now, the big one that's pretty ambiguous is used. If they're just doing it as that, well, like you're going to see here, there's a lot that can come under that, and good and bad, and everything in between. So Army Outdoors, we try to differentiate a little bit. We've got a pretty comprehensive grading system for our used items. Now, how that works is we try and base it off the common denominator. So not the best out of the lot, not the absolute worst. If they're that bad, we will take them out and put them into what we have as a grade 2 system. And we'll have a bit more on that later, but for now, come check how we kind of grade this stuff. So the first grade is probably the most self-explanatory, you'd think, is new and unissued. New/unissued. This one fills that description pretty perfectly. Still in factory wrapping. We don't always guarantee them that they'll be in the wrapping, but they are new. Also, actually, here's a good example, no packaging, but as you can see, nice and spankers. All right, here's another case of new unissued with a small caveat. These are Russian gas masks. Still got the packaging in there, but they've been sitting in crates for up to half a century. So they're not particularly clean. They should be free of human germs, so they haven't been used, but again, just another little caveat to surplus. Next on the list is used excellent. So it's pretty much in our description, pretty much damn near new, but there's just something that, you know, makes it cross the line here. So we've got this ABU jacket as an example. Come have a good old geeze at that. Yep, flawless material. Got really nice Gore-Tex seal tape there, but then we've got a nice little bit of writing there, so it's obviously been issued, but really as far as stains, dirt, anything else, this is pretty much completely free of it. So that's one good example. Another example of used excellent is these M60 pouches, pretty much brand new looking drawer, but again, you could hardly fault it, but just slightly on those snap domes, there's just the slightest bit of wear. Could still be new unissued, in fact, in reality it probably is, but just because of the storage wear, we decided to slap them in used excellent, so cream of the crop, bar the new. Next one, used very good. Now, a lot of our surplus on our website constitutes this. There is no repairs. You'll start to see a bit of wear on the fabric, but nothing major. So if you can tell from that, there's just the slightest amount of staining. It's probably been quite filthy at some stage, but it's been washed. So this has definitely been issued. It's definitely seen some action, but you know, all cylinders firing. Next grade we've got is used good. Now, this constitutes quite a few of our listings, and it's one of the more interesting ones where it definitely pays to read the descriptions. But here we've got some Greek trousers. Now, some of these look absolutely fine. Again, a bit of fading in the material, definitely seen use, but it's the first grade in which we start to see repairs happen. There won't be any major repairs, but oh, there we go. There's a good one right there. So you might get the odd button missing out of them. This is the kind of common denominator, or the lowest at least, that we're kind of running by, but that's a good example of what we have under used good. Still completely usable. It's just small repairs. There's one minor one there where they've had something coming away a little bit, but still good to go. We've also got an example of used good with pouches. Some Dutch mag pouches here. That's how we receive them. They're all banded up like that. You can see one in there that's new unissued, basically by the looks of it, or used excellent, and some fading. A couple of examples there. The camouflage is starting to wear. There's actually nothing wrong with them service-wise, like everything is functioning, there's no repairs on these, but because of the fading amongst a bunch of them, they go in as used good. Next grade is used fair, and what does it say on the old wall there? Marks, stains, scratches, and repairs, but still at least functional. And these old NZ Army mag pouches constitute that. Now, have a good look at these. It's a good example of surplus that has been well used through the ringer, but to be fair, most of these probably haven't seen a battlefield and have just been used for training in the field. Get some field modification like that. All their components are still there, all their Alice clips, and all their buttons still working. They just so happen to have markings all over them. So we put that as used fair. Another example of used fair in terms of clothing is these check shirts that we've got here, just trying to find some good examples. Got a lot of fading, they might have marks, stains. It's got to be, it's not much on this one, but got some little paint marks on there, may or may not come out, but that is what can be expected on used fair items. We don't have a hell of a lot of listings like this, but these were work uniforms actually for their military, so that's actually what they used them for, not combat. Painting barracks and stuff like that. At the time of filming, we don't actually have anything under used poor on our site. We've pretty much thrown everything into grade 2, but this is the closest that it could come at. It's a unique scenario, but this is actually an East German tent pole set. Everything inside this is actually new and unissued in really good condition, but they tend to have a habit of stabbing through. We did have other ones there in better and worse shape, some which are completely pristine, but obviously the middleman example is there's quite a few with holes in this. Sadly, otherwise brand new condition strict tan pouch, bit sad. And the last grade is grade 2, or defective, known to other surplus sellers. And here's an example of our used good Greek lizard trousers. We're pretty much going over them. The only small repair, if any, is like that. That's a good grade. And you go right to this. This came through in the same pile, and it's gone straight to grade 2, because check that out. It is repaired. It is technically functional in this case, but for our grade 2, we do say that these are broken, there may be missing parts, they may not function, but they should be repairable. Here's another grade 2, pretty rusty, a lot of character on the outside there, but pretty much almost as clean as the whistle on the inside. We will make notes on listings if there's anything that goes outside of its normal parameters for grade. And we'll usually have that bold and red at the top if it's pretty out of the box. But that pretty much sums it up for our grade 2s. We pay full price. We drop the price for you guys to make a wee saving there, because they're obviously not quite up to the spec that we'd like. But we've just got a new collection on the website dedicated for our grade 2s. In case you're handy with a needle and like repairing your own clothes, you might be doing any projects, or maybe in this case cutting some marpat into shorts. These are actually a pair of grade 2s now that I think about it. They had a hell of a lot of markings and rips on the bottom, but here you go. So coming down to Army Outdoors, check out what we've got on the website, and make sure you always scroll to the bottom of our listings and have a good read, because we highly encourage it, so you know at the least what you're getting. And with surplus, who knows, maybe you get that minter in there as well for something going for far, far less.